Hi, this is Annie from the ADHD Minimalist, and today I'm going to give you a tour of our guest house, which is a 200-year-old Swedish house. Here we are in the entryway. It's pretty small, so there's not a lot of space for me to back up and take pictures. That goes up to the attic, which is a storage room. Alright, this is the entryway. We're going to go into the kitchen. This is the original pantry. They used to put up boards and make doors and all kinds of things out of them. So they just sort of blended into the wall. We just recently cleaned for Christmas. The windows have frosted over. My kids are outside sledding down the hill, which you might hear every once in a while. Now we're going from the kitchen into, I guess this was a bedroom or a dining room. It has a fireplace as well. And here we've been looking at all the layers of wallpaper, which I think is really interesting. This one seems to be the oldest one. This really dark reminds me of like bamboo or something. And then we have wallpaper here that had really shiny gold flowers on it, which was pretty. And then this one, which I think in Sweden you call it porridge wallpaper, is kind of like grayish colored. Then we have this one with the squares and the flowers in the middle, and the last, this blue stuff on the outside. And I'm not really sure, this blue wallpaper could be quite modern, but these other ones are pretty old. So this room doesn't have any insulation either, so it doesn't really get used for much. The layout in this house is really weird. You're walking through this room in order to get to the next room. So this is all frosted over. My husband put some insulation on the bottom half of the door to keep it from the frost from creeping in on the floorboards. But this room, we call it the professor's room because there wasn't a guy who sat in here and actually put small pieces of wood in that tiny, tiny fireplace and earned a degree and became a professor. So this is where he studied. So we have some books on the wall there, and some of our outside furniture ended up in here for now. And here we have pretty much just a hallway. It's a really little space, and the stairs go up there, and you can go into the biggest room, which is this room. And we think this was the oldest part of the house, and that people made food in this fireplace before they made the other kitchen, which is on the other side of the house. So this room is much like it would have been many years ago. This room was the nicest room of all the rooms. They've actually insulated it behind this paneling, so they had to take all of this really old painted paneling off, and some of it was already destroyed. The house had been empty for a while. And my favorite detail is this painted curtain. You can see the whole thing here. No, it doesn't want to show you that far away. There you go. There's the painted curtain. Maybe they didn't have enough money to have curtains, and they had some extra paint from a piece of furniture. There's actually one on this side too, but somebody, I have no idea who, put the thermostat in the middle of the curtain. This one isn't quite as bright as the other one. It faded a lot. But anyway, kind of thing you should never do in an old house. And the ceiling is pretty fun. It's really old boards and it's pretty low and it's not at all straight. The whole room is leaning that way to the left. And if you look at the door, the top of the door, it looks straight with the ceiling, but the door is incredibly crooked. They had to cut the door to fit the frame, which moved with the logs over time. So sometimes we make a fire here and grill hot dogs or marshmallows and sit around and play chess. And we've had a lot of family dinners around this table. And my husband's family, they like to invite more and more people. So a lot of times we've had, we thought we knew how many people were coming and we just had to keep adding more tables and chairs because everybody brought a friend, which is really fun. So we usually all manage to squish into whatever space we have though. So here's the door. This is a pretty cool door. Let's see here. And the handle fell off. A long time ago when somebody tried to putty the door, which might have been a mistake. But it's a really pretty green color. It's got a lot of patina. And if you see now, you can tell how crooked it is at the top. It's kind of crazy. So we're going to go upstairs. This is a really small and really steep staircase that goes up to the second story. This is the only place in the house where you can really see how tall the house is and see all the logs. So we have two guest rooms up here. This one. And these have insulation, so our guests don't have to freeze, although they might be rather cold by the time they put their coats on and walked out here. It's the fireplace chimney that's coming up here. It's huge. It takes up probably more than a square meter. And then we can go in the other room we use, sort of like an extra living room. The kids can study here or play games, do Legos, that sort of thing. That is a mosquito catcher that we're hoping was going to catch a lot of mosquitoes in the summertime. We just bought it, so I've never tried it before. Some years we have no mosquitoes, and then the next year we'll have twice as many. So we usually have to go on vacation in the middle of July because we get eaten alive. So this is what the room looks like from here. It has a pretty ceiling with the beams showing. Alright, so now we're going to walk outside and look at the outside of the house. Man, this room is cold. Hey? Ja.
För långt.
I was gonna get some stuff from the storage room, but I can't get there yet.